Welcome back. You're still watching us here on The Breakfast Show. Time now to discuss the first topic of the day, which was actually, we are going to discuss a topic that dominated the political scene here in Egypt in the past few days. These sectarian clashes that broke out in Khusus and later was extended to the cathedral, the Coptic cathedral in Abbasiyah. We are going to discuss what happened, why did this violence take place, and in whose best interest to incite such violence. In order to discuss this and much more, we're very much delighted to have with us Dr. Freddy Elbaiady, member of the Shura Council. Good morning to you, sir.
First of all, talking about the meeting that was held at the Shura Council, when the discussion started about all the latest events, Al-Khusus clashes in particular, a number of MPs withdrawn. Why? What happened?
Okay, we started from the end point and then we can go backwards later on. Actually, what happened in this session of discussion, we were discussing this tragic events that happened recently at the cathedral and the Khusus area, with this sectarian violence in the latest days. Actually, we were objecting because it didn't take the time it deserved to discuss, and the president of the parliament decided to stop the discussion and to go on into another topic, which was parliamentary elections law. And
this is more important, the parliamentary elections.
This is why we objected, because we felt it's not more important than our country is actually in fire, and the heart of the nation is bleeding, and now we are going into something which can be actually delayed for a few days. And we didn't get the chance to tell our opinions in this matter. Actually, many of the MPs were asking for words to speak and to tell their opinion, but they didn't get this chance. So that's why we started to object, because we didn't want this to stop. We want to speak more and to cover the issue at least by speech.
Sir, you're saying we. Exactly whom are you referring to? Certain parties in the Shura Council?
Yeah, I'm speaking of at least 25 MPs who withdrew. They belong to different parties, because some media described them as only the Christian MPs. We were not only Christians, but they were from different groups who actually were objecting, and they decided to withdraw from this session as a way of objection to the way the session was moderated.
Were there recommendations after the withdrawal of these members? I mean, they continued and there were recommendations, or what happened?
What happened in what?
I'm talking about the session regarding the meetings. After these members withdrawn from the session, what happened? There were recommendations. Did they continue talking about the parliamentary elections? Did they go back to talk about the clashes of Al-Khusus and the latest events of the Abbasiyah Cathedral, for example? What happened?
Actually, at this session, they continued talking about the parliamentary elections. They moved to another topic. They closed the other topic. But later on, they decided to have another meeting, which is going to be today. After 1 hour from now, we will have a special meeting to rediscuss the topic again. So I think it was...
did they reach any recommendations regarding the parliamentary elections, for example?
The parliamentary elections, yeah. The law is almost finished. They voted for. They will have the final vote at today's session, but they finished all the amendments and the articles. Yesterday was the last article amendment was discussed.
Dr. Freddy, going back to the origin of the problem, I won't talk, not the origin, but the problem that happened in Khusus. I mean, the problem that happened in Khusus. The problem started with the clashes between some young people. Why wasn't the incident contained back then, before it escalated into the violence that we saw in front of the cathedral?
Yeah, actually, I was following this this tragic event from the beginning, because it's I live in an area near to this area, so I was following it from the beginning. And as many events that happened in the last time, they start by between two Egyptian families. There are different stories of what initiated the fight, and it really doesn't matter, because they are all not significant enough to start such violence. But there are some problems we need to go deeper to find why these troubles escalate into sectarian violence. And you see the same scenario, it happens different, it's not only in Khusus, it happened before in Mbaba, it happened in Atfih, it happened in Marinab, in different areas of the country in the past few months. So I believe that we have to go deeper and find why these things go this way. I believe we have to look for the religious discourse, the violent religious discourse. We need to see the people, actually what escalated the problem after the fight, that one of the Muslim young men who was killed, and actually was not part of the fight, was accidentally killed, he was just passing by. But what everybody says that one of the men who took the mosque speaker and started to urge the Muslims to go and kill Christians or burn the church because they are killing the Muslims, so he started to put the whole village in fire. So this guy, he urged the people to kill, and I believe that he has to face the same judgment as those who committed murder themselves. So whoever admits such violent religious discourse from either religion, but I'm speaking about the last event specifically, they have to be actually presented to firm law, firm judgment. But this is another part, one of the reasons that we don't have the firm law applying. We have enough laws, but they're not applied. And usually what happens is that you have such friendly setting and this traditional picture of people coming and giving hugs and saying nice words, and they come the pastor.
And this is the key, we're talking about the hugs and the beautiful and nice words, for example. Why did the idea is that people talking to people or addressing people, a Muslim has been killed, and why not an Egyptian has been killed? And this is one of the most important things. Why do I say a Christian has been killed, a Muslim, and we have to take a revenge? Because I believe the sectarian clashes will be the most dangerous, risky ever in the history of Egypt that can really destroy the country.
I believe we have to go into two solutions. One is immediate solution is the implementing of the law, firm implementing of the law. In the past times, those who committed this sectarian violence or killed, they were not actually presented to law, especially those who had the religious leadership position or religious violent discourse. I can't believe that true religion speaking about hatred. Religion speaks usually about love. And if you can't love your brother or sister who you see, how can you love God who you don't see? And we believe that God loved us first. So we love God and we love our brothers and sisters who live with us. So I mean brothers or sisters, any human being, he's our brothers and sisters. So we have to go back into this part of the religious discourse, and this firm application of law, of judgment immediately. And another long range or long run solution is the education, the culture, the people, the way they get raised, the school's education. And when I speak of school education, I'm not speaking only about curriculums. I'm speaking about the way that children are raised in schools and how they get the feeling that this is Egyptian and it's not Christian and Muslims. And we don't start to teach them from the early days of the school that there's a difference between Christian and Muslims. We have to work on this. We have to work on laws and actually being part of the parliament. I
think we didn't mention something very important that we have to work upon, the mosques and churches, because this is the first and only solution when it comes, because
when I speak of religious discourse, I speak
religious
of
men, they must change their dialogue and they must find another way to address their people.
Yeah, of course, when I speak about the religious discourse, I'm speaking of those who are presenting this religious discourse, yes, churches and mosques.
Yes.
And yesterday we had a meeting, a group of the MPs from the parliament. We met with Grand Imam, Sheikh Al-Azhar, and we wanted to present our respect to Al-Azhar, and we enforced the rule of Azhar and the church in containing these problems, not only by words, not only by nice speeches, but by really firm solutions, firm application of law. Also, we are calling about security. We need to implement security. I was actually sharing in the funeral at the cathedral. I was there, and I saw with my eyes how the people were attacked. I was one of the people who started to see the people shooting against us. I missed the honor of being shot in this funeral, but actually I was eyewitness for this. And I saw how the police actually were not doing their role, and there are big question marks.
This brings me to a very important question. Did you, Dr. Freddy, together with your fellow colleagues in the Shura Council, did you discuss how the authorities handled the situation, whether in Al-Khusus or the cathedral?
Yeah,
how did you evaluate it?
We discussed this, and we are going to discuss it again today. Actually, I believe it was a failure from the police, and there is a big question mark. Some people say that the police is weak, but I see the police is strong in some other areas. When I see them, they are defending the Muslim Brotherhood headquarters in Muqattam in a way that nobody could touch it. I'm not against this. We have to protect any institution or any property from attacking. But when you come to attacking the cathedral, and it's not only a church, it's a religious symbol, an Egyptian symbol. It's the first time in history. It's the first time in history that the cathedral is attacked and people inside the cathedral attacked by tear bombs and firearms. Never happened in history. It has very significant interpretation and very bad actually impact in Egypt and internationally too. So the police was watching. And they were throwing, the police people were throwing the tear gas at the people inside the church. And I couldn't believe why this happened. And I'm going to say this again in the parliament today, and we need actual explanation. And the role of the police is really bad. And we asked it before for the Minister of Police to resign. And of course, nobody hears for that. And I said that before, and I say it again, it's not in our country, no minister would resign from himself, either the Prime Minister would not do it. And that's why I say it's the responsibility of the President of the country. He is in the top of the authority, and he's the only one who can move the Minister of Police or the Prime Minister. So it's his responsibility to have actually firm actions and to go into steps that will make the people calm. The young people who are furious in the streets, speaking of Christians and Muslims, maybe Christians are more furious because of the latest attacks. It's not accepted if you are in a funeral and people are really in a bad way.
But let's not put it as Christians, because I know a lot of people, let's say most of the Egyptians, they are very much worried about this. Not only Christians, because even Muslims, they are very much worried about this. This never happened before. And this will take me to the other question. Shall we be scared that this might occur again, or we can end it here and full stop? How do you see the future? What can we do in order not to have something like this again, to control it from the very beginning?
To see the future, we have to see the past and the present. And usually we speak about the good past, and we speak about the memories, the nice memories we had as Christians and Muslims. Our dearest friends from a Christian would speak about his nice memories with his Muslim neighbors and friends, and a Muslim would say the other way around. And this is really true. But we have to admit that the present is not the same as the past, and things changed. And we have some seeds of sectarian violence that now it's in our culture, in our community. We are not used to this. And if we don't admit that, we can't go into a better future. So we have to admit that where are these seeds are coming from. We have to find practical solutions. We have to work on it. If we didn't do this, we will end just by giving nice speeches, just by paying sympathy and condolences, and will not change the future. So we have to stop. We have to analyze. We have to find practical solutions and have practical actions to achieve a better future.
Sir, you mentioned something very important, which is that similar events took place in the past. You mentioned a few of them. Actually, no tangible results were reached regarding investigations in such incidents. And this raises a very important question. What happened? Because we hear President Morsi over and over again in his speeches saying that he knows what he calls the hidden fingers trying to play with the country or trying to destroy the country. If he knows who those people are, why are not they brought to justice? Why their names are not announced? Why don't we know anything about them? Why did they not reveal the results of the investigations regarding the previous incidents?
You're right, and I agree with you. If they know who is the real criminal who is committing this violence, so they have to present him. They have to stop him because they know. And if they don't know after all these repeated attacks, still it's a failure. If you can't know as authorities, you have the police, the intelligence agencies, national security, and it's not the first incident. And if we can't find practical solutions, it's not going to be the last. So it's actually failure from the authorities. Either they know and they don't take actions, or if they don't know.
But there is videos on what happened,
Yeah.
and this is something very important. Every time, usually, we have some videos, and I think we can work on this. So we can see people who are behind this, for example, working behind this. We can see it on the pictures.
Yeah.
Am I right? And I heard that the cathedral has got its own videos and tapes.
Yeah, this is true, and we actually many people who are interested in this or caring about this, they are collecting some videos. They are going to present them. But what happened that sometimes you have the diagnosis, you have the evidence, but you don't have the authority to
Is
take
there
action.
an evidence more than that I can see you by yourself doing this and this and this?
It is evidence. I said sometimes you have the evidence, but
picture of
you
the
don't
man, for
have
example?
I can present evidences. I have videos to present, but I don't have the authority to take action. I don't have the
So
authority.
where is the authority to take an action? This is the point.
It's the government and the president of the country who moves the government, because the government doesn't have the full authority to move by themselves. So in some other incidents before, some investigation commissions who worked it, and they found some evidences and they presented it, but it's now kept and nobody worked on that. Starting from Port Said, starting from the first days of the revolution in 2011. So far we don't know who killed the young people in 2011. And some investigation committees worked in this, but it's not revealed yet. It's not presented to the public. Nobody took action against who committed this murder, who killed the young people, the hundreds of people who were killed. So we will still work on this. We will not lose hope. We will give the evidence. Many people are working on this, and we will keep trying to have a real action, because we love our country, and we are not going to lose hope. But till the last moment, even if it's not strong hope, but we have hope. We believe in God first, that God will not leave this country. God will protect this country. God will give us a better future, even if some people feel some kind of pessimistic against the future. But I believe that as far as we have hope in God, we will have a better future.
Inshallah.
Right, Dr. Freddy Elbaiady, member of the Shura Council, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And I hope that we can change ourselves first, because
so.
this is the most important thing. The problem is inside us.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Freddy. Now we're going to see a special report regarding Egypt's productivity of agriculture. Actually, the country is an intensive user of modern technologies to improve agricultural productivity in view of the natural resources, base scarcity, and population pressure. Nile TV's Nirmin Abdurrahman has a special report on how the national